Hello YouTube, this is Magnum924 here, and today on Stupid Nintendo Articles, I'm going to be going over the article entitled, Why We Should Be Excited and Worried About the N64 and DS Games on the Wii U. Now, when I read this article, I honestly didn't have any expectations going into it, for I couldn't think of anything that could be worrisome or bad about putting N64 and DS games on the Wii U. And clearly this article doesn't have any reasons either, because as I read it, I honestly didn't know what on earth this guy was talking about. Because, okay, this article, thank you Dr. Trey for coining this term. This article is a prime example of a no-opinion, an article or video with a clickbait title that maybe states what he's actually talking about a little bit, and then goes on a tirade about something completely unrelated. And the stuff that actually is talked about is based on nothing but false accusations and other opinions. And is usually just sweeping generalizations that is very easily proven false. So yeah, this article is filled with that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get started. This one might honestly be the worst article I've ever read, and that's saying something. So it starts off with the tweet from Nintendo of America, right, that they released right after the Direct on April 1st. Starting today, N64 and DS games hitting the Wii U. Okay. The news is exciting for the Wii U as it adds a considerable buy-me factor for Nintendo's current console. Nintendo has always been a company that has relied heavily on the nostalgia factor. Being able to play past favorites like Mario 64 and Donkey Kong 64 is a smart move for the company. Personally, I haven't enjoyed the Wii U as much as past Nintendo consoles or the various Nintendo handhelds. It's mostly due to the catalog of games that feels unremarkable, with obvious expectations for titles like Super Smash Bros. And The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I'm going to stop you right there. This article has, I don't care what you say after this, your opinion or whatever you have to say is completely invalidated because of this right here. Saying that The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was released on the Wii U. Now, you could have either been horribly confused or you're just plain wrong. Either way, this article is completely invalidated. And I don't understand why you would specifically say Legend of Zelda Wii U when you just say Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword when you don't even say Smash Bros. Wii U. If you had just said with obvious expectations for titles like Smash Bros. And Legend of Zelda, because Wind Waker HD is a Zelda game on the Wii U and is actually really, really good. I know it's a remake, but still. Why would you specifically say Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword when there are many, many other Wii U games you could have pulled from? And I know it's the hot topic thing to say that the Wii U has no games. But looking over at my collection now, I have, I think, 7 games. And all of them are, I would consider all of them to be some of the highest rated, some of my personal favorite games in that genre. Super Mario 3D World, one of the best, probably the top 3 best 3D Mario games, and one of the best, therefore the best, one of the best 3D games of all time. New Super Mario Bros. U, one of the best platformers of all time. The one for 101, one of the best action games of all time. Mario Kart 8, the best kart racer of all time, and the best Mario Kart game. Super Smash Bros., the best Smash Bros. For people who are both casual and competitive. If you had said Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, okay, but why Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword? Why single that game out? I just don't understand. Clearly, you don't know what you're talking about. Or maybe you're just horribly confused, but still, like, why not just say Legend of Zelda? Why have to say Skyward Sword? Unless this is just a really, really bad troll article, I'm just missing it. I'm just gonna go on. I could have gone on for that forever. Something about this news from Nintendo that worries me, though, is that it falls into the recent trend that I and many others have noticed lately coming from the longtime industry leader. Whether it's Amiibos, Nintendo Direct / Virtual Console versions of past generation titles. Again, what are you talking about? What are you talking about with this statement? Nintendo Direct / Virtual Console versions of past generation titles. Do you not know what a Nintendo Direct is? The 2 or 3 times he talks about the Virtual Console throughout this article, he always groups it with Nintendo Direct. Is he thinking the Nintendo Direct is the eShop? Nintendo Direct is a presentation where Nintendo directly shows you new information about games you already know and upcoming games. It has nothing to do with the Virtual Console. So why in this article do you combine the Nintendo Direct and Virtual Console together? Again, I don't know if you're just clueless, or if you don't know what you're talking about, or if you're just horribly confused. Any of those gives you the reason not to make this article, in my opinion. But let's keep going. Or the recent news about plans to work on Nintendo mobile games with DNA. All these improvements are reactionary. Amiibos came out in response to the popular Skylanders and Disney Infinity characters. Nintendo Direct / Virtual Console, there it is again, aren't new to the Wii U, but bringing back classic N64 titles is the same concept Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo have been doing for years with remakes and re-releases. So, you're trying to compare re-releasing N64 games on the Wii U Virtual Console, something that they've been doing ever since the DSi and Wii. Yeah, Wii. I think we had it first. You're comparing those to Microsoft and Sony remastering games that are less than 5 years old. See, here's the difference between those two. Games like God of War 3, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, Last of Us Remastered, Sleeping Dogs, Grand Theft Auto 5. All of these games you can get on the previous generation, and the games still hold up today, and you can get them pretty readily available just at any GameStop. GameStops generally, at least the ones around here, generally have games from past generations and even from the PS2 and GameCube generation. So I don't understand how that's comparable to releasing N64 titles, which, starting back in 1996, you can't really, since they were released all the way back then, you can't really find them anymore. So and plus, a lot of the N64 cartridges, I'm sure, just like Game Boy Advanced and Game Boy Color cartridges, they're probably losing their internal batteries, so you can't really save them anymore. Especially they're going on 20 years old, or 19 at this point. So they're not only are most of them unplayable if you play them constantly, they're really old and hard to find. So bringing back classics like N64 titles on the Wii U is nowhere near the same thing to Microsoft and Sony and even Nintendo remaking and re-releasing games like they have been doing. And Nintendo hasn't even really done it all that much. They've remastered Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, and Pokemon. All of those were about 10 years old by the time they remade them. I think the oldest remaster on a Sony or Microsoft at least Xbox One, PS4, is God of War 3, which I think is 5 years old. The mobile game scene has been huge for years now, and Nintendo is just now getting involved. I'll give you that. None of these moves by Nintendo are bad, but they demonstrate a consistent trend of following the industry instead of leading it. Even if Nintendo makes better products than the initial innovators, the company is still missing out on considerable opportunities to grow its fan base by not initiating change on its own. So, clearly, this person is either conveniently forgetting, or completely forgot, or didn't even know that the gamepad, everyone tried to copy that with the Vita and Smart Glass. The Wiimote, everyone tried to copy that with the Kinect and the PS Move. The DS, smartphones copied that with like touchscreen, because there wasn't really any touchscreen technology. At least it wasn't mainstream until the DS came out. So, are you trying to say that I know, okay, recently, yes, they have been copying other people's ideas, but they were the first ones to do a lot of this stuff. I think Nintendo has the right to copy a few ideas, considering how much they've given to the industry. And I don't know that sounds fanboyish, but that's just how I feel. And if it makes money, why not make these amiibos? Why not re-release N64 games in the Wii U? Why not make mobile games? If it makes money for them, then do it. Like, the investors have been pushing them to do this for like years now, and their stock prices increased by over 25% twice within 3 days after they did that. While Nintendo has managed to hold on to its position as an industry leader for a while, I'm concerned that it could soon start to decline. Steps in the direct direction could include new IP like the upcoming release Splatoon, or a gaming first like an innovative new console or piece of gaming hardware. Again, Wii and Wii U are both innovative with their way they control. The DS and 3DS, they are innovative. I don't understand what you're trying to say here. Nintendo President Sora Iwata recently announced a dedicated game platform with a brand new concept under the development codename NX. Hopefully NX, whatever that may be, can be the innovative jumpstart I believe Nintendo needs. If it's a flop, the company wouldn't explode or fold undernight. The strength of an exclusive franchise that it publishes such as Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda could sustain the company for years to come. However, the NX is a ways off from being fully revealed, thank you, let alone released, thank you again. One title, like Splatoon, no matter how fun it might be, can't instantly turn everything around for Nintendo. I'll get back to that in a minute. To become the industry leader they once were, the company can't keep putting out the same products just with different, fancier packaging. They need to innovate and support original concepts in games. These last two sentences. Let's see, where do I start? So, with saying that Splatoon is a new IP, yes, it is a brand new IP, but are you completely ignoring the other new IPs that Nintendo has been making recently? Codename Steam. Xenoblade, Xenoblade. They're both new IPs that people just seem to forget about. And then this last sentence, let me just read it again. To become the industry leader they once were, the company can't keep putting out the same products with just with different, fancier packaging. They need to innovate and support original concepts in games. So, every single company nowadays, whether it be third party or first party or second party or whoever, pretty much nothing is original nowadays. Everything has turned into an annualized franchise, or just like every 2 years they release a sequel. Or they're just copying another shooter or another strategy game or another MMO, just putting their own logo on it. that's all gaming has really, that's all, just the 7th and 8th gen just kind of turned into that. Just everyone copying everyone else. So it seems like the industry really is pushing towards everyone doing that. I mean, so saying you can't just single out Nintendo as saying they're putting the same products just with different fancier packaging. They're innovating within their games. Like, I don't understand this notion that Nintendo has just been rehashing the same crap for the past 30 years. Every single game they put out in the franchise has added something to that franchise, whether it be new power-ups, new abilities, new modes, just everything. All these other like annualized franchises and other games, they're just literally slapping a new story mode and then maybe switching up a few mechanics here and there that don't really change the gameplay all that much. So, if anything, Nintendo has been way more innovative than anyone else lately. Especially with the way that they make their consoles and handhelds. And, okay, I honestly did not see anywhere in this article where you said we should even be excited about N64 and DS games. See, you talked about them being a reaction to Microsoft and Sony re-releasing games. I guess here that it adds buy me factor to the Nintendo console, but you didn't expand on this at all. Really, what you did was you took this article title, which everyone would just be like, oh, okay, this seems interesting, I want to hear his opinion, and then spun it to be not a hate article, but an article that basically just, how to put this? Okay, there's nothing original in this article at all. Let's put it that way. Everything you said is just rehashing what someone else has said before. Nintendo needs to put out more IPs. They're not innovative enough. They're just rehashing their old franchises. See, this is one problem I have with the industry as a whole right now. They seem to target Nintendo with everything they do, watching them, and then judging them solely for what they do, and not compare them to what anyone else does. What I mean by that is, like, if they do something, yet another company does it, Nintendo is automatically the evil one. And even if Nintendo does it right, like DLC, they generally do DLC right. It's automatically evil because Nintendo does it. Take Mario Kart or Hyrule Warriors, or even some of the Smash Bros. DLC, is reasonably priced. But no, Nintendo is automatically evil for making DLC. Or they're automatically evil because amiibos are being sold out everywhere and they're not supplying enough. Or they're automatically evil for not being innovative enough, for rehashing their franchises. Yes, I mean, Sony and Microsoft do have a few new franchises here and there, but generally, a good 80% of the stuff that's out on the Xbox One and PS4 right now, if not more than that, is just sequels and remasters of old games. So, if you ever want to write an article about an opinion, base it on your opinion. I feel like I say this every single time. Base it on your opinion. Base it on facts. Have your facts straight up here. Know what you're talking about, and if your article is titled something, make your article based on what the title is. And don't go on some tangent about something that's honestly completely unrelated and try to file it under why you should be excited about N64 and DS games on Wii U. Because, like I said, you maybe gave one reason for both. That's not good enough for if your title is called that. So, yeah. Just, please, never write an article like this. I'm done. Goodbye.